These are all the Gundam kits I built in 2024. Some were big wins, while others, not so much. So today I want to go through my top 10 least favorite Gunpla I built in 2024 and give a little bit as to why I think they just don't quite hit the mark. These kits didn't come out in 2024, they're just the ones I built this year, so if you're looking for that, that's somewhere else. Without further ado, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's jump right into the list. Okay, I know we just started, but I have to say, these first few kits on the list, I don't necessarily hate, I just have some gripes with. Because for the most part, almost all the kits I built this year, I really loved quite a lot. But with that being said, in the number 10 spot, I have this 1/100th no grade Savior Gundam from Gundam Seed Destiny. Aesthetically, there's not really much I dislike about this kit. It's chunky, it's pretty anime accurate, I really like the design of the mobile suit in general. But being a kit from 2006, there's certain spots where you can really tell, especially with it not being an actual master grade, and more so kind of a high grade and a master grade frame. Every joint has a poly cap, there's a lot of seam lines that I know I could go in and cement up, but that's something I'm still not too familiar with. And I know the Savior Gundam transforms, and I transformed it once, it looked pretty alright. I'm not a big fan of transforming Gundam anyway, but with this guy, I'm really scared if I do it too much. There's not a lot holding him together, so I feel like if I do it, he's just gonna end up not around. And he would share the same fate as a kit that we are gonna see later on down this list. With it also being more of a high grade than a master grade, it's really hard to do anything other than just get a decent standing pose with this, which looks alright in, but if you're wanting to maybe have him in more of an action pose or kind of flying around transformed, I would almost recommend, I think there's a master grade of this kit. If there is, I'll put it right here. I'm not super familiar. Maybe that one is better, and maybe I'll try to get that this year. But this guy, I got him super early on, so I'm not super upset about it, but I don't know if I'd get another one of these no grades again. Next up on this list is the high grade Barbados. I believe this is the first version of Barbados that came out. If you watch my top 10 favorite kits, you'll know that I really liked Barbados Lupus. That's because he's my first kid, a lot of sentimental value, yada yada. But also, I really like the design of it and the Lupus Rex, which I've got right here. I like their designs quite a bit more. They really mastered the kind of open torso concept while also still having a nice big chunky armor all around them. Whereas I feel like with this iteration, it just looks kind of plain. Sorry, my cat's going crazy. There's not a lot of color separation on this, even with added stuff that I've done, it still looks just really white. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but he just doesn't have as much going on as the other two kits of his that I've got. Another issue that he has, and a lot of other high grades have, is just the use of stickers everywhere. I've tried to get away from stickers and tried to detail them up myself, but there's some, like the black around the back of the, what is it? I guess that's the calf, back of his calf. It's got some different coloring and some highlighted metallic pieces that I thought I really couldn't do on my own. So I used the stickers. They don't look the best, and none of the stickers ever really do look that great, even if I take my time and make sure they're perfect on there. So that's another thing you'll see kind of common on this list, is just if you got a lot of stickers, you're not going to be sticking around. I really want to get the master grade of this, and maybe with that, kind of some more of the inner details would kind of pop out more, and maybe some of my issues I have with it wouldn't be so prevalent. But for now, not the biggest fan of, I don't know, the first version of Barbados. Taking the 8th spot on this list is going to be the Zaku 2 Origin Edition. And yes, this is the Origin Edition. I swear this time I checked, I double checked, it is Origin. I just have to make that clear because on my top 10 favorite list, I accidentally mistook my RX-78-2 Revive for the Origin Edition, and you guys made it known in the comments that I messed up, but thank you for correcting me on that. This, I am certain, is the Origin Edition. Remember what I said about stickers? Let me introduce you to this guy. I really love the Zaku design in general. Most of my favorite kits are kind of the old school Xeon big boy suits. So I really liked this version of the Zaku. It's kind of got almost a real grade feel to it. My problem lies more so on the internals of the kit rather than the externals, besides the stickers, of course. All the joints on this guy seem really loose, and yeah, I know this was pretty early on in my building career, but the arms, the hands, they just don't want to seem to stay in place, and they really seem like really loose, like more loose than they should be. That's a real shame because I feel like this guy is like perfect for like different cool action poses. You know, he's got a big old sniper. I've got the big old bazooka somewhere. You know, the heat hawk. I'm not gonna make that joke again. But he's just got all the perfect fixings to make for a really nice posable figure. But he just doesn't want to. I have tried to go in and cement kind of the shoulder joints a bit. Um, but even then, it's still just really loose. I know I could go in and do more and more, but it's dwindling returns or whatever they say like that. So for now, he just stays posed up like this, ready for battle. Which is he's still like I said, I still like the design quite a bit, but internals they just need some work. Up next, number 7, and our first but definitely not last master grade on this list is the master grade Zeta Gundam. Now, I was really tempted on whether or not I actually wanted to put the Zeta on here because he does so much stuff that I really, really like. For one, Zeta is probably my favorite Gundam series, and I really like the design of the Zeta. His legs almost look like they've got giant robotic bell bottoms on, which I think is really cool. I know I'm not a big fan of transforming kits, but I haven't transformed this one. You can open the cockpit and see the little Camille be done. But everything was so awesome about this kit. I loved it. So you might be asking, well, why is it on this list? Well, whenever I got this kit, I was also super excited because it came with this. A really dope, cool stand. And I was like, oh, cool, this is my first master grade that's ever came with a stand. That's awesome. Little did I know, it came with the stand because it needed the stand. Because this guy cannot stand. I swear, I've tried a million different poses just to try to get him to stand straight up and nothing ever works. He's always either leaning weird or I have to do some weird stuff with his knees where it looks like he's like kind of forward squatting in a weird way. It doesn't quite work, and so I can never get him just in a basic relaxed pose or an action pose for that matter. I will say the joints hold up well, but it doesn't matter if all I can do is just plop him on the stand. Even though the stand is cool and it's big and, you know, has some cool detail to it, it's only pointing forward. That's the only way he can go on the stand, so I can't do him sideways or whatever. And I don't know if he needs like an action-based adapter for a different stand, because the way that one goes on, it like clips on underneath the crotch area, so I don't know. It's really frustrating. I'm really curious if the Verka has the same issues or not. You guys should let me know down in the comments, because I really like the Zeta, and if that's any better, maybe I'll have to pick that up this year. Finally, at number 6, this is where the list gets serious, and I have some actual gripes with these kits. Kind of. The gripes I'm talking about are actually self-inflicted wounds, because at number 6 we've got this high-grade Destiny Gundam. And you might notice he looks a little different. That's because this is my first ever kit that I attempted to paint, and he didn't end up so good. It's really a shame because the Destiny was such a great kit to put together. I really loved the kind of big flared out wings, the sleek design of a lot of the Destiny kits I'm a big fan of. And even the colorway originally I liked, but I was like, I really want to get into painting and detailing and modeling, and so I was like, well, this is a high grade. I think it'd be a perfect one for me to test it out on. And I did test them out. Unfortunately, just didn't end up the way I'd liked. You can probably tell just by looking at it, but I didn't sand, I didn't use a surfacer. I didn't do anything to prep this kit. I just stuck some paint on it and went to town. And so I just kind of keep him around just to kind of show how far I've come with my painting and my my detailing of these kits, because even though he didn't end up the greatest, I might, who knows, I might get a second one this year just so I can do them up the correct way. Next up on number 5, kind of similar issues to the Destiny Gundam. It's the second ever kit I built, and that is the high-grade Sandrock. My lighting is so weird in here, I can't figure out a good way to... Okay, actually looks kind of badass. And a lot of that comes down to a few things that we've seen on this list already. And even though he's my second kit I've ever built, I don't have as much fondness for it as I do my Barbados or even my first or second master grades. He's got a couple of stickers and some key spots. He's got some really loose joints. I mean, I don't know if you can... Okay, maybe they're not as loose as I thought, but this guy, like, if I like try to move him, Okay, so yeah, now he wants to stay. Okay, alright, yeah, whatever. And the Sandrock, I don't know, he's just something about him that I'm not a fan. I don't know if it's just because it looks like he's got wings where he's supposed to have shoulders, or if he's supposed to be kind of this like white savior in the Middle East or something. I don't know, that whole show was weird, man. But I mean, other than that, there's not a whole lot to kind of gripe on for. I tried to do some detailing on him, which I think made the kit a little better. I think this is another case of if I get the master grade, I think I'll enjoy it better. Just because if it's anything like the heavy arms, I do like the extra detail that comes in those. So who knows, maybe I'll be completing my weenie set this year. Next up goes to the cheapest Gundam I bought this year, and I don't know if this is cheating or not, so you'll have to let me know down in the comments. I've got this high-grade AliExpress Virtue Gundam from 00. I love 00 a lot. That's probably my favorite Gundam series, either that or Zeta. It's still debatable. But I was getting some tools off of AliExpress because I heard that you can get them pretty cheap and they do the job, and those have been great. And while I was browsing, I saw this guy on there. I was like, there's no way I can get a whole Gundam for like $4 or $5. So I got it, you know, I was like, oh sure, why not? Let's see how bad it can be. And oh boy, it can be bad. There's nothing really good about this guy at all. The plastic is cheap quality. There's very little details, no separation or no color separation, a lot of stickers. And when I was building this right before I got a master grade haul, and so I didn't even put any detail into like really clearing off the nubs. Like you might even be able to see them, yeah, on the leg there. It just was not worth my time. This guy, it was not good. I did not like him. But number 3 on this list is honestly a case of everything that I've disliked about every other Gundam I've built, all thrown into one. And that's gonna be this high grade red frame Astray. I know he doesn't look red right now, but we'll get to that. So this was probably my 3rd or 4th kit I ever got. I was on Amazon and I wanted a Gundam. I wanted a cheap Gundam. I wanted to get as many as I could get my hands on, and I saw this. But what I didn't know is in the pictures they had used, I want to say there's like a 2.0, but it looked like a really nice kit. I really wanted to get that, and that's what I thought I was getting. But no, instead I got this high grade from 2003 that is tiny, has little going on, and unfortunately now is all covered in gray paint. So I built this guy and I built him up fine, and I didn't dislike him. You know, he's small, he's had some cool personality to him, but I was also getting my hands on those Gundam markers and some paint, and this was right after the whole Destiny Gundam debacle, and I was really upset with myself, and I was like, let's just do it all. Let's just paint them all one color. And so all I did was I grabbed the brush and I went to town, and I just made this guy all gray, which in all honesty, it kind of looks kind of dope. Not gonna lie, just an all gray Gundam. He almost looks like a Transformer kind of. Obviously I would need to do some real work to make it look good because there's still red popping through everywhere, and if I bend the knees here, you can see I did not get the knees at all, and you can still see the white there. It's just very simple. He's just got the one ball joint on the hips, he's got the one flex at the knee, the one bend at the arm, and the one bend at the elbow. And not that it's anything bad for a kid from 2003, but I had my hopes a lot higher than they should have been. And I know now kind of the price range that Gundam go, so hopefully not going to make that mistake next year, but who knows. Number 2 on this list is an unfortunate case, because it's my first ever master grade I built, and that is the Granddaddy RX 78-3 3.0. And you might be noticing he's kind of missing something. Yeah, he took a tumble, and he doesn't have hands anymore. And that alone should tell you why he's so high up on this list, because I love the design of this 3.0. Like, it might be my favorite aesthetic look of a Gundam. Looks so realistic. I really like all the details, all the fine spots I was able to panel line, like especially along the legs. Just everything about this kit is everything I want from a Gundam. The only problem is, he's a damn grenade. So I have him up on my shelf along with all my other Gundam. Probably about like a yard up or so. And unfortunately, my shelf got ran into one time, and him and a few of my other Gundam fell and tumbled to the ground. The other Gundam, I don't even remember which ones fell because I was able to, pop a few pieces back on and they were fine. This guy, he had some of his waist armor missing. I think his shoulder was gone. And as you can see, the hands are gone. I've still yet to find them. I found a few of the little tiny fingers, but I haven't been able to find the thumb joint that holds it all together. I was already not a fan of the hands on this guy because they're just, they look cool and expressive, but they just are so easily, they just fall out so easy and they don't want to stick in place. And now he doesn't even have any, so I guess I can't complain about him anymore. And it's really a shame because I think this might, like I said, might be my favorite design. So if you guys have any recommendations for another RX-78-2, please let me know in the comments because I would really like to build another one, or even if a master grade that just has like this kind of much detail to it, that's what I'm looking for, so let me know. Easily taking the #1 spot for me, this was no question at all, is the master grade Delta Plus. I was looking at reviews and everything, and everyone was like, man, this kit sucks. It doesn't do anything. It falls apart. The transformation's cool, but that's it. And I was like, oh, surely it can't be that bad. Mind you, I hadn't got a bad master grade yet, because I thought everything was cool. It's a master grade. They can't be bad. I was wrong. I actually like how my paint job turned out on this guy, but that's kind of where my joy for this kit ended, because everything else about this kit I dislike. He's got some really finicky, I don't know what you would even call them, like shoulder joints or like hinges that hold his arms into place. I think they're supposed to be taken off for the transformation, but they barely stay in place. So anytime I move his arms too much, they kind of pop out. His legs are so big, and they do, look, you can see it. If I put it up, there it goes. See, look how loose his legs are. And this is another case of something I can probably fix up, but this, I don't know about this one because there's so much interlocking stuff for the transformation on the inside that it doesn't quite work out. And the same issue that I had with the Zeta, with him not standing, also applies here. It's not as bad because he doesn't have as much back weight as the Zeta does, but I have a hard time finding good standing poses for this guy. And it's a real shame because I wanted to like this kit because I really liked the design for it. I wanted to prove all the haters wrong. He didn't have the nasty 3.0 hands. He has the nice kind of, you can move the 3 and then you can move the pointer finger. So they're not bad. I really didn't want to have gripes with this kit, but I just did, and I did. And this guy I can't do anything with. He's got to be a statue. He's got to be a statue because if I try to put him in a pose, he doesn't hold it. If I try to move his leg, it goes back down, and it's just really frustrating. And so that's why the Delta is my least favorite kit I built this year. Those are my least favorite kits I built this year. Did you like any of these kits, or was I kind of out of place for disliking some of them? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching this far. I have a Discord. I'm trying to get it going again. I'd like to start doing some community related videos on maybe some kits I should build, or detailing and explaining my processes on how I do certain things. I would just love to get your guys' feedback on that. And so if you're interested, the link will be in the description. If not there, it's on the channel page. I'd really love for you guys to join that. And thank you guys for helping me get to almost 14,000 subscribers this year. I've been really on and off posting, but I'm hopefully finally in a spot where I can continue this weekly upload schedule and get videos out and interact with you guys, because that's what I enjoy doing. I hope you guys have a happy and safe holidays, and I will probably see you guys next year. Peace.